You're watching KX News, putting North Dakota first.
There is perhaps no more contentious issue right now in politics than the energy grid and how it pertains to the discussion on climate change. However, work is being done on the state and federal level to find compromise and make energy both cleaner and more sustainable. So for tonight's KX Conversation, Senator Kevin Cramer, who sits on the Environment and Public Works Committee, joins us. Hi, Senator. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure. Thanks for the opportunity. Important topic, for sure.
Senator Cramer, this week you and Senator Hoeven reintroduced legislation to extend the refined coal tax credit for another 10 years. It would provide incentives for coal-fired power plants to pre-treat coal to reduce harmful pollutants. How will this help North Dakota?
Yeah, great point and great question. It's really a very modest incentive. It's a tax credit for refined coal. Refined coal is just what it sounds like. It's a coal that it's improved prior to it being burned to generate electricity. It reduces nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, mercury, pollutants. And in addition to making the coal cleaner and to burn more efficiently, it also provides a little bit of a financial incentive where there isn't one. And what I mean by isn't one, in certain markets, of course, the reliability of 24 hours, 7 day a week coal is not adequately compensated. So it makes it affordable while we build a bridge to an even cleaner energy future.
And speaking of energy and environment, you voted to confirm the Biden administration's pick for EPA Administrator Michael Regan. He began his career in President Bill Clinton's EPA. What did he do to earn your support?
Yeah, that's a great question because it does take some doing, because I don't start out naturally wanting to support somebody who, served in previous Democratic administrations, but he did serve in a Republican EPA as well. But Mr. Regan has a rather interesting background that I relate to, in that he was an energy regulator in North Carolina for several years. And what's important about that is that he understands from a state's perspective how intrusive, big government, the federal government, can be. Now, I'm under no illusion that Mr. Regan's going to be, a right-wing pro-fossil fuel EPA administrator, but I do believe that he'll provide an open mind, a listening ear, an opportunity and a willingness to come to North Dakota, which he promised me he would do, meet with problem solvers out here in the energy field. And so I don't expect him to be a Republican. But then a Republican didn't win the White House. But I do expect that he'll be an open mind. And I think in a situation like this, that's the most you can ask for. And if he doesn't fulfill that, then, of course, we'll have a problem with him.
Maybe we should just get government out of the way instead.
So free markets do work the best. Consumers can, if consumers are given the opportunity to pick what they want to pick, they'll usually, take the lowest cost. With regard to utilities, however, because by and large, utilities are something that you don't want to have a lot of redundancy of, especially electric utilities. We have monopolies, whether they're cooperatives or investor-owned utilities, and the payoff for being having a monopoly is you have to be regulated. And so because of all of that, and then you have the different cultures and the different standards set by different states. You have multi-state utilities, you have regional grids that have a culture and have laws and rules. It gets very complex. But one thing's for sure, that is that even in this free market system with a monopoly type of a utility, you also have state-by-state cultures. And you also have interstate commerce. And when it comes to interstate commerce, the federal government has some jurisdiction over that. So to have a completely free market, you ought to at least have a regulatory regime that recognizes the value of each of those fuels and does its best to socialize the costs across state lines to make sure that the grid's not only cleaner and greener, but that it's also reliable and resilient.
Senator Kevin Cramer, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.